Hello, welcome back to the channel. If you are working in logistics and supply chain and you would like to implement AI agents to automate workflows and support decision-making process, you are in the right video. My name is Samir. I'm supply chain data scientist and founder of the startup LogicGreen. Over the last few months, we have implemented multiple AI agents to support small, medium, and large businesses in improving their productivity and automate decision-making process. In a previous video, I have introduced the tool that we've been using, which is n8n, and you can see here the user interface, using 3 different case studies. For this video, we will work together in building an AI agent from scratch. The idea is to learn how to use n8n to design a tool that would automatically process and parse emails that includes orders, extract the right information, and then pull the result in a Google Sheet. Before starting coding, let me show you the results. So first, this case study is coming from an actual project, or I would say an actual situation that I faced when I was working in a logistic company with some of our customers. Basically, our customer didn't have the EDI connections with our warehouse management systems and was sending the orders, the inbound orders that we are supposed to receive in the warehouse by email. And the emails looks like this, where you have the PO number in the subject with the expected delivery date, and then providing some information inside the body where you would have the different order lines. So for each order lines, you have the SKU ID and the quantity. And we had some admins in our company, but it was a long time ago, way before AI was mainstream, where that was basically processing the emails, taking the right information and manually input the information in an Excel. Then that was transferred to the IT team to load the information in the warehouse management systems. So this process was manual, labor intensive, and not really what you would expect from a modern logistic operations, due to the fact that our customer was not able to provide information using EDI. Based on this problem, that probably many companies are facing, I wanted to design a solution where an AI will automatically extract the right information and then load the data in, for instance, a Google Sheet. And as you can see, the Google Sheet here has 4 lines for the 4 other lines. Each line is taking the right PO number and the expected delivery date and the different SKU ID and quantity. So in this video, we are going to build these AI agents from scratch, so I can guide you on how I'm using n8n to answer these kind of problems. In this workflow, we're gonna have connections with Gmail, an AI agents using OpenAI model, and then a connection with a Google Sheet. And I hope it will give you enough information to start to build your own AI agents using n8n. So now that we know what we want to do, we can start working on the workflow. So as I explained, basically, we want our workflow to process every email that is received in a specific mailbox that is for receiving purchase orders, PO, by email from this specific customer. So we need a trigger that would trigger the workflow each time we receive an email. So as I did for the previous customer, I will use a Gmail trigger because this customer created a specific Gmail address only for the PO received. So this trigger, after you have put the right credentials for your email, will be will be triggered each time you receive an email. Here you can also put some frequency. For me, I would like to check every minute because we are talking about orders, so there's a kind of urgency that is in place. So let's make sure that we don't miss any PO in case that the warehouse team would need this information to prepare for the inbound. So now that we have the trigger, maybe we can start to test the workflow. So I have sent to the email address the email that I showed you previously. And as we can see here, we have the email address, we have the thread ID, we have some information about the subject. So everything that we need basically to start working on the parsing and extracting the information. So one tip that I can give you to avoid to have to fetch the Google Gmail API, you can pin the data. So this is pretty practical when you are building a workflow, because then you don't have to call the API each time you do some tests. And considering that I'm using the free tier of Google Cloud, I don't want to reach the limit and not being able to send additional requests, especially that this email is used by other workflows. And I would advise you when you are building, when you are in development mode, to do the same. So we have the trigger now. So we can extract the information. But for that, basically, what we are going to do is we are going directly to build the AI agent. So the idea is we are going to receive the order with all the information needed. And we are going to ask the AI agent to basically parse the email and provide the right information in the output with a specific format. So for that, you go on AI agent. So this AI agent, basically, this node is a node to create an AI agent where you provide the input. So here, this is where I connected the Gmail trigger. Here, you can provide the chat model. So for the chat model, I will use OpenAI. And I would suggest to use 4.0 mini. It's way enough for this kind of functionality. Also, if you are using this node for a chat, you can also add the memory. It can be the built-in memory, which is a bit limited, or you can use a Postgres database for doing that. But in our case, we don't need memory because we just need to process the email and then send the output to another Gmail address or to a Google Sheet. So we don't need that. We don't need specific tool, but what we would need is a specific output, because what we are going to do is parse the information, then output JSON, then that will be processed to pull the data in a Google Sheet. So you go on add option, or you go on here more, request specific output format. And then you can select the structured output parser. Here, the idea is, let's not forget that, okay, it's probably a no-code tool, but behind there is structure with long chain agents, different type of agent. And here, basically, this output parser, we ask the agent to output the data based on a specific format. And we'll give him the example that is here. So we are going to build the example together. Okay, so this is the kind of information we have. As I said, we are going now to build the agents to parse the information. So how to build the agent? But first, you need to provide him a system message. And I have prepared a system message previously that I will show you now. So I copy, I paste it, and I show you here the expression. So this is a very basic system prompt. We are not here to provide advanced knowledge or advanced tutorial on how to do prompting. The idea is just to show you how to build the different Lego blocks, and then later you can obviously improve the solution to make sure that the agent is more accurate. But here you need to provide the context, okay, what the agent are. It's basically an AI agent that is parsing information from a customer. So here, customer is Hermes. I took a random brand for that. What I provide as information is the format of the subject. So this is something that the customer, the logistic companies has agreed with the customer. So it's to say that the customer should put the PO number in the subject, and then explain him that in the body, it will have this different type of information, the expected delivery date. And here we provide an expected format. It can be different from what you have, but based on the example that I show you, it's exactly this. And then different that it can also expect some order line information. Because here what we have to understand is that when we are going to receive a PO, the PO that I showed you, we have the PO number, and then we have the expected delivery date. But then for these two information, we may have multiple order lines. And this is what we have to explain to the agent. And in this order line, we have the SKU number and the quantity. And what we want from the agent is to extract the different fields. And the field is, okay, the purchase order number, the expected delivery date, and the different lines. And then based on that, we are going to use another node, a code node, using JavaScript to parse the information. So I think it's pretty clear now. So what we have to say to the AI agents is how it's going to receive the information. The information is going to be received. So here, what you can do is directly connect it to a chat trigger node. So in case you are using your chat, but here's not the case. We are not using a chat. We are connecting it to a Gmail trigger. So it's more, so we have to define how the data is going to be received. So here, what we can say is email subject. And what would be the email subject? So here, this is the output of the Gmail trigger. So where you have all the information. And what we can see here is that the subject is available here. Then we have the body, email body, and here we can provide the snippet. Okay, so one interesting thing here is that the snippet doesn't provide the whole body. Why? I don't know. Because probably here we have put simplify. So let's unpin the data. Let's retrigger that. Okay, let's pin back the data. And now, instead of having a snippet, instead of using the snippet, we are going to use the text. That's one trap that you can find sometimes in the triggers, is that by default you have, for instance, simplified that is selected, where you cannot access the full body. But here we need the body because this is where you will have all the information that we want to extract. The subject here, what we can see is that it's green. So when it's green, that means we need to redefine it. So let me see, probably because when you don't simplify, the format of the output is different. So here, where is the subject? It's here. Boom, we have the subject, pretty easy, and how it looks like. Great. So this is what we are going to provide to the AI agent, plus the system prompt. That's not finished, because here we need to basically explain to the AI agents how to output the data. And for that, basically, we are going to use JSON, and we are going to provide an example of the JSON format that we need that we want, basically. And for that, I prepared this, so I will explain you in details. Let me show you here. Okay, so basically what we want is to have the information at the PO level, at the first level. So that's the PO number and the expected delivery date. And then we would want to have a list of information. So here, for the different order lines that we have. So here, the PO number, here, the expected delivery date, and then we have a list where we have 4 order lines. And for each item of the list, we have the first key, which is the SKU ID, and then the second key, which is the quantity. Why I'm showing that? Why I'm putting this? Because if you don't do anything, you don't know how the AI agent is going to output the information. And here, let's not forget that we need basically to process the data later to send that to pull that to a Google Sheet. So okay, this is done. Now let's try it. And I've pinned the data, so we are not going to send a request to the API, which is good. Great. Okay, everything is green. That means it's working. Here, what we can see at the logs is that this is what we sent to the AI agents, and this is what we retrieved. And it looks like what we want to have. Let's look at the output. Yes. So we have the purchase order number, the PO number, the expected delivery date, and the different lines. Cool. But this is not at the format, it doesn't look like a table, right? And what we want to pull to the Google Sheet is a table. Easy peasy. What we need is now we have the support of JavaScript. So we have support of JavaScript and Python. To be honest, for me, I'm more comfortable writing Python code. But the problem is n8n is still not ready to use Python. So you don't have all the libraries. So it's way easier with JavaScript. So here, what we would have. So as an output, this is the output we have. So that's the format. And what we want to do is basically transform that into all the lines in a table. And for this, we are going to use the JavaScript code. First, we are going to define what we are going to get from the output. So we are going to have the purchase order. Yes. We're going to have the expected delivery date. And then we're going to date without. And then we're going to have the lines. And these 3 variables will be basically what we're going to have from the output. Yeah, great. And we need to close. And then what we need basically is, okay, wait, I forgot something. Yeah. What we need then is to have, we're going to create a loop for each line of the order lines, and we are going to append the purchase order and the expected delivery date to the content of the line. So for this, so this is what we're going to return. For each line, we're going to use the function, the JavaScript function map, which is like a lambda function in Python. And for each line, what we are going to retrieve is first, so that's going to be JSON format. First, so we need to have the purchase order number. So I call that purchase order, which is purchase order number. Then the expected delivery date. And then we're going to have the SKU number. And here it would be line.sku. And we're going to have the quantity, which is line.quantity. Let's try it. Yes, it's working. Okay, so what do we have? We have exactly what we want to have in our Google Sheets. So for all the lines, for all the lines in the email, and for each other line, we have the right PO number, we have the right expected delivery date, we have the right SKU ID, and we have the right quantity. Great. So then we good. So what do we need now? It's basically the Google Sheet. The node to pull the data to Google Sheets. So we go to Google Sheets here. And what we want is, let me see, append row in a sheet. So which sheet we are going to use is the sheet thing called email parsing. That's the first one. Okay, great. So here, let me see. Here, in this node, you can map automatically. You can expect that the node will map automatically. I don't advise to do that. Or you can ask, or you can select map manually to say, okay, for each column, what do you want? So here, what do we want? So first, we close everything just to make sure it's clear. What we want is the output of the code node, right? This is what we have, the formatted data. So in the PO number column, we want the PO number. In the expected delivery date, we want the expected delivery date. In the SKU ID, we want the SKU. And the quantity, we want the quantity. Okay. So everything is good. Let me just go back to the Google Sheet. Let me clean the lines. So make sure that we can test that it's working properly. And then go back to the AI agents. So here, okay, for the sake of experimenting, I will remove the n8n, so everything will be loaded, and we can test the workflow. And we can cross fingers to make sure that there is no issues. There is no issues. Seems that there are no issues. That's the output we have. Okay, let's go back to the Google Sheet. Yes, everything is here. So now that your AI agent is ready, so what you need to do is just activate the workflow. Maybe I can do the experiment of resending an email. So I will resend an email to myself. Logic Rimbot, inbound order. So here, okay. Let me try that. PO 8888, only 8. If you are Chinese, you know that it brings luck. Okay, it will be in May. Right, it will be the 8th of August, 2028. Okay, only 8. Yeah, purchase order, so it should be the same. And here 08. Let's make things properly. Yeah. So here 2028 08 08. Okay. And here let's call that test the work flow. 88 88 to bring luck. Okay, let's go. So we send that to ourselves. Okay, let me quickly go back to the workflow. Execution. Boom, we have an execution here. Successful. In the output, no, that's not the output. What happened? Okay. The execution will be every minute. So should we wait 1 minute? Probably. Bam, 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 bam. Maybe with the magic of editing, I will cut that, but or maybe not. Yeah, and we received the right order lines. So that's working. I hope things were clear enough. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to use the comment section, and I will try to answer them. And if you have any suggestion of new AI agents or n8n applications for logistics and supply chain, don't hesitate also to share that in the comment section. I will try my best to follow your suggestion for the next videos.